Hi there, I'm the utopian trainer. She wagged her finger at me, saying, "You're unemployed because you decided to be unemployed, and it's your decision for this." Why do I say that? Why do I start a video with that? I'm going to explain in a moment. But first, hello to my subscribers. You are beautiful people. Zdravo. Cześć. Servus. I know the languages that 4 of you speak. With 3 of you I don't know because it's kind of hidden on YouTube. It's okay. I don't need to know who you are. But it's beautiful, and you're beautiful people, that you are supporting this channel. It's a really cool thing. The rest of you who are watching this who are not my subscribers, please click on the subscribe button. It will really make my day. Yeah, subscribe button. Also on the notification bell. It doesn't mean I'm going to get emails from me. No, it just means that when you go on YouTube, you're going to be just seeing a recommendation to watch whatever new video of mine. And you're going to see my pretty face. So, I saw a very interesting article. I read a very interesting article in the Financial Times yesterday. The Revenge of the Middle Class Anti-Elitist. In which, looking at people who voted for Brexit, and of course Brexit, the reason people voted it is very different, but one of the reasons of this is because of... Anyway, for Brexit, for peace in Poland, and Trump in the US, is because there was a lot of middle class people voting for them. Now, people like me often pay a lot of attention to the working class people voting for them because it's an interesting thing. Why are people voting against their own interests? But middle class people voting for them, and specifically middle class anti-elitist people. So, there's a link to the article underneath, but I'll give a brief summary. So these people, they weren't born working class. They weren't born middle class, I should say. They were born working class. And then they became adults during a time in which the industry that they were already working in, say in engineering, had an increase. Manufacturing going down for others, but engineering going up for them. Or they started some kind of business in some kind of niche of a market that was developing very well during that time, such as like IT, for example. And therefore, they've increased their income in life. They've increased the kind of possessions that they have. They have like a better house, a bigger house, or flat, or a car, more cars. They're able to go holiday here, able to go holiday there, and then changing the kind of friends they are having and moving in society, and then dragging themselves up to being middle class. And therefore believing that the successes that they have had in their lives have been due to their own efforts. The fact that they were born in a specific time in which a specific economy, a specific industry was doing better is kind of lost in this, or the fact that if they went to university, this university education was free, or if you're in the UK, free health service, or maybe they're provided with social council housing as they were children, all this for free, this being ignored, but rather my success in life is because of the own efforts that I've been putting in life. And therefore these people, there's because this, when they're hearing about like politicians who've got some kind of policies for welfare state, for health service, for Medicare, for all, being against this because they're thinking, no, people are getting a handout, they're getting something for free, and not the things that I myself had to work hard for. Yes, and I've known these kind of people. Hence the example I put in. I was once in a pub with a woman. Her and her husband, through working in engineering, or through the fact he was working in engineering, managed to improve his situation in life, and therefore both of them believing it's because of the work that he did, and not because of the reasons I already outlined earlier. So in this kind of analysis, there's no barriers in life. The only barrier to your life is yourself. The fact that discrimination happens, that classism happens, that racism happens, that kind of thing. No. It's all because of the effort that you put in. This is what these people are believing in. And why anti-elitist? Well, because the fact that their families, their parents weren't academics, they weren't lawyers or doctors or whatever, who have been born into like a silver spoon in their mouth, as we say in English, but rather they've been born with better circumstances. It's been easier for them through connections that their family is having, and through this whole kind of culture they've been born into with the right kind of language, the right way of behaving. They've had like an easier life instead of having to fight for it. instead of having to go through the university of life. Yeah. Therefore, the resentment against this, the resentment against the established middle class by people who are now turned into middle class, and therefore going with that, a resentment against like highly educated people. So whether this people at graduate level or PhD doctorate, is that the same thing? I don't know. I'm a humble bachelor. And therefore, this has been linked to then the fact that it is often the case that people in the media who are espousing progressive views are people who are professors or obviously university educated people, often in media, magazines, people writing for them, that this person has studied this person has got this kind of degree. A resentment is therefore and been developing towards these kind of people, and these people are espousing a progressive views. This all gets mixed together. Progressive views means having by the people who have been against my own success in life, and this means there's higher. I mean, all white people are being cultured into racism, or xenophobia. But this is then being strengthened in this. Because these foreigners coming into my country, they may be competitors for me, kind of thing, and they just want to get a handout instead of working hard like I had to. So, these people are having a very strong influence upon the politics currently across the world. How do we deal with this? Do we call them idiots? Call them sheeple? Doesn't help. It makes us feel good maybe doing so, but no. We talk about need to educate them by bringing them around to a change of mind, by trying to argue with them, using rational arguments, using statistics. I've tried. I like to pummel people with facts, statistics. I like this. It doesn't work. Because ultimately things that real people derive their sense of truth from is from their own experience. This is also why then the prejudice that people have been sometimes linked to not their experiences of the people that they're prejudiced against, but rather their own kind of view of what is kind of right and wrong in life. I am a victim of this, and therefore I identify with these people who are victims of that, even if these people is much more complicated than that. And so then the question is then how we deal with this. I believe the kind of the moralizing, these people are bad, these people are idiots, this is a individualistic approach. This is actually very neoliberal. We have to take a societal approach to this and looking at what are the conditions of these people's life that brought them to this view, and how can we change the conditions in life to stop this from happening. This brings up the issue of education. People being brought up to believe that they're individual or self-autonomous people who own success in life. This is what they're being taught in schools. Or can we then put different education policies and then set up informal forms of education to counter this? But there's also the issue of the mainstream media. The mainstream media is massively supporting all of this and feeding into the prejudices of these people. We need alternative media. We need to boycott media. This includes the BBC, and in terms of their political outlet. Anyway, they're biased. We need to consider, and here's the thing, I once read this article about like racism, and it was shown that one effective way of dealing, actually not just with racists, but actually with Nazis, neo-Nazis, is to talk about values, talk with them about what kind of values that they have, and often somewhere you can have some kind of like equality, justice there, can be there. And then the trick is then to point out this actually is contradicting the other values that you have of like tradition, whatever, traditional gender roles or something like this. We got to be clever. We can't just be moralizing. We got to be have a cold-hearted analysis to try to work out why are people doing this? Why are people voting for things we don't like? Only then can we have success. Don't give in to despair. Give up to analysis. Is that right? Anyway, sounds okay. So, don't forget, if you haven't done it already, click on the subscribe button, click on the notification bell in the same place. I don't know why I'm waving my fingers around. And with this, I wish you all a really cool day. Bye.